Hey, hey, Poodle fam, here we are. It is our Wednesday therapy session for me. How do I get therapy? I do it right here on my boat. This is where I do it. This is where I do it from. I am home after a long, oh, do I need to adjust the cushions, make the cushions look right here? Uh, yeah, we're gonna hope that the connection stays strong, because I am out here on my boat at home after a long, long, uh, few weeks of traveling, and I thought no better way to come home and see my poodle fam than right here on my boat, on my lake. We'll probably get some buffering issues. I'll just throw that out right now. You guys will probably, have some issues connecting. It'll probably come and go, but you know what? This is my home. This is my happy place. This is how I get my rest and relaxation. I was thinking of uh, what should I talk about this week now that I'm here and I'm home? And, what are the things that are going on? I still have tons of work to do and with Poodle, but I'm happy. Wait till you see, I got myself a brand new computer to do some Lakeview meta stuff. So I got a nice little Alienware computer I'm hooking up today so I can get in, check our stuff, and do some more website work. So we're getting there, doing some good stuff with that. Um, and my gosh, you know, it's been quite the few weeks. And so anyway, I see the laggy. Yeah, it could be the I'm seeing a green light, so it looks like right now the connection is fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes and goes. I mean, I'm hotspotting off my phone here onto my laptop, so. Um, so yeah, so I thought about family. Like when you come home, what is it that makes you so excited to come home? I've had some great times, um, uh, you know, boating under the influences. Like, no, only if you're drunk. By the way, I need to grab a drink here too. But the thing is what makes you excited to come home? How many of us go on vacation or go on work trips, and all of a sudden we think, we come home, we go, it's so good to be back in my own bed. It's so good to be right here. And what is it? And I always think like one of the things that gets me excited about coming home is seeing my poodle fam, right? And sitting at my desk, and that's when I can really open up Telegram and put it on the other window over here and see the action going, you know. And that's why today out on my boat, I'm wearing this hat. This hat I got actually in Nazaré in Portugal on this day, right after seeing Sasha and Elle and meeting them in uh, uh, in real life. Amy and I were walking and just down the little shops, and I found the hat too. Like it was the same day, it was either right before or right after, and I thought, wow, this is perfect. And so I nothing says poodle fam rather than wearing stuff that I bought on the same day I got to meet Sasha and Elle. And that was the thing. As we start looking at where we're going as a token, where we're going as an investment, and our future, the things that we have to do and what we're doing is, there's always a lot of work to do. There's always going to be work, um, and yet it always seems worth it. There's been a lot of conversations lately, out on the Twitters and on our Telegram about, you know, different projects and what projects are here and who's not here and what their what's going to be long-term value. And I started thinking, we've always said about our community how we are here um, for our people, and that's what's important. We we could have taken this token and gone, you know what? The market's not great, pack it up, go home, and we'll come back and we'll fight another day. But we've never done that. We've always focused on, what is good for the sake of the token? What is good for the sake of the people? And that's where our focus has always been. And so I'm starting to hear people. So a fun fact, there was a conversation on our Telegram about, people getting into crypto. And we know that only now 4% of the world, it used to be 3%, now up to 4% is into it. But in the United States, over 35% is. This was actually, we had a conversation, we were looking at the Lakeview Meta stuff about when is that going to be on iOS or on a Mac or whatever. And, a lot of the world is still on Android, PCs, all of that stuff, even though I got my new Alienware gaming PC so that I'm hooking up so I can do some metaverse stuff for us. But the thing is in the States, people are already still starting to come back to crypto. One of the things that happened yesterday was we hit a 20% down mark in the stock market for, I believe it was the 3 months in a row, plus the 2 quarters. So we are officially in a stock market downfall, right? We are in a recession, even, as far as the stocks go. And I started having friends say to me, hey, tell me again about this crypto thing you're in, because if all of my investments are down, why am I staying stuck in the stuff everyone told me was safe? Should I not be ready for the next bear market, or the bull market, I mean? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely, you should be getting ready for the next bull market because it's going to happen, right? What happened was we're seeing this change where we thought that people would jump off of crypto, and they did a little bit. There was a sell-off when the recession kind of started and go into stocks. And now they're recognizing their stocks aren't even doing any good. So people are going to now start thinking, where can I get more of a difference in my investment? How can I get a stronger investment for my own, for myself when I can't necessarily trust that it's going to happen through traditional investing methods. And a lot of my friends are now starting to ask about Poodle again. And they're saying, wait, are you still in that? And of course I am. They see me, tweet out that I'm doing a live show or something like that. But what's interesting is they're saying, wow, there are people who are in this for the long haul. And that's the difference, right? That so many tokens, and hold on, here we go. You're going to be ready for this. So fridge right there. Pacifico right here. I can't be on a boat. What was it? Someone say boating under the influence? Yeah, it's a private lake. There's no cops here. And so what we're doing as a token is building the back end, building the foundation. And what we see here, like on this show, the people who come every single week, every single show, and don't miss an episode, is that back end. It's that backbone, right? And I'm now having my friends come back and say, hey, what is it about your token? What is it about this crypto thing that keeps you wanting to stay with it? And I said, let me be honest with you. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you all as investors too. I owe it to you. I'm more bullish on Poodle than I am on ETH and Bitcoin. All right, I'm going to say that again. I'm more bullish on Poodle than I am on ETH and Bitcoin. And the reason for that is because I look at potential. What's going to happen is that even Bitcoin, it needs to do a 3x to get back to its height. ETH needs to do at a 2.5x before it gets back to its height. And do you realize we talk in terms of 100x, 500x, 1000x? And we could turn 3x in a couple of days. And we could keep it there, right? We are in a time of unsureness, but yet what I see is it's not a green screen. Who said it's a green screen? What do you want me to say? It is not a green screen. How can I prove to you it's not a green screen? Well, the trees are moving. Here, I'll go down. You tell me which way to go. I'll go left, here, see? And then I can take you down. Here's what I'll do. I'll prove it's not a green screen. I'm going to take you down by the fountains. Hopefully I get a good signal there. So I'm hot spotting off my phone. I'll take you down to the fountains. They're pretty. It'll be there in a while. I'm trying to go slow so that I don't lose a connection. Um, so what we're doing, jump in the water. Don't, well, no, yeah, trust me, you don't want to. It kind of looks blue. In it's let's say it's actually more green. I don't know why it looks blue in the pictures, but it's actually kind of green. I wouldn't want to jump into it. Um, though some do. There's always some drunk person on a tie-up night. If we do a Taco Tuesday tie-up, uh, the back. What, can you put more? Yeah. Yes. So anyway, let me get to this, and then I'll answer some questions. Back to the point I want to make about our community. When my friend said to me, what is it that makes you still into this crypto thing, even though it's dropped so much? And I said, look, well, I believe in the future of crypto, and I believe in the future of all of it. I believe more in the future of Poodle because I see the direction we're going. I know I'm driving. I need to drive so I can get in the sun. Um, I love the direction that we're going. I love the fact that we're in the metaverse, we're in gaming, we're NFTs. Wait till you see the gallery that's opening. Wait till you see some things that are happening overnight. The academy that's now coming along, the back end. I've said I've got a lot of stuff happening on it. I got to move it on to the new thing and the new platform so that we can now start having certifications. It's not about crypto, it's about the possibility of what we can do. In the end, it's about, yes, are we going to turn a profit? Are we going to make money? 100%. That's the idea. That's why we're in it. We all want to not be poor forever, right? I don't want to be poor forever. I know, as I say that on my boat, but you get what I mean. I want to have a lot more zeros in that bank account, a lot more. Um, but the fact is that what we're doing as a token is going to play dividends for years and years and years. And it's going to be what other tokens look at. And now I'll say this too. I will actually say that's probably true of most of the Seek ecosystem as well. You see people who believe in the power of what it is that we're doing. And so uh, that is what builds our base. Those of you who are around and have been around for a while, start to recognize the way we talk to one another, the way we communicate with one another, the way we understand that we're all in this together. Every now and then, so, I've been traveling for, gosh, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, um, and I started clearing out some of my Telegram groups, and after I saw Archer clearing some out and I had to let back in, um, I thought, okay, let me clear out some. And I started looking at these things and I just started looking at and scrolling up just for fun. Let me see what kind of conversations they have. And it's always the same thing. It's a come in, we're going to moon buy here. Come in, we're going to moon buy here. Come in, we're going to moon buy here. And yet, if you look at ours, and I'll say some other, and Seek ones as well, if you start looking at them, what you start to notice is that while we know the effect of what we do is the moon, it's the work that creates it. Everybody else thinks, come buy, and then it's going to go up. No, this is about work, right? This is about putting in and creating a good product. And it's a community that does it. And that's what I love about it. Well, I gave last week ways that we could do a little bit better, or not how we can do better, how you could do better on the Poodle Olympics and how to create a good tweet that creates engagement, how to put us in the best light and not just about spamming people. And right after I said don't spam people with tweets, the funniest part is um, so many other tokens that would like take just all of a sudden started replying to my miscellaneous tweets that had nothing to do with it. They were work tweets and they're like commenting on something about shilling their token. I thought, how awful, how much of an embarrassment. And yet we don't do that. You know why we don't do that? We don't do that because we know what it's like. We don't want to be spammed. We love being able to like we treat, it's kind of the golden rule of Twitter, right? We treat others on Twitter the way we would want to be treated. We don't spam, we share information. When someone asks what projects we believe in, we share the information. But we don't go out there and just embarrass ourselves. And that's what's really rare in this world. Oh, I'm breaking up. Uh-oh. I'm breaking. That means, see, I was trying to stay in a good zone. Oh, you know what? I'm driving by my house. It might connect to my Wi-Fi. So that's probably the problem. Because if it connects to my Wi-Fi, then it's gonna jump. All right, here we go. There we go. And there we go. I'm turning away from my house so that I don't connect to it, and that's probably why it's going to jump back and forth on the signal from the hotspot. But I was told it was a green screen, so I'm taking it to the fountains. And so, I don't know, where was I? Where was I before I was breaking up? Exit out and come back. Oh yeah, typhoon. I know. Well, you know what? Gosh, speaking of typhoon, let's pray for everybody in Florida. My gosh. I mean, hopefully, if we have any people, which I do know, we have poodle holders who are in Florida. Gosh, to see what happened to Cuba and as that hurricane's coming through, just take care of yourselves. We're praying for your safety there. This is going to be a nasty one, so hang in. Um, yeah. Um, am I breaking up? Dang it! I'll have to turn. Obviously, I'll have to turn back around. I'm going to turn back around. So if you look far, when I turn around, see, I had to get away from my. Just had to get away from my dock. Here we go. I see it breaking up too. It must be wanting to connect background. When I turn around. And here we go. Is this like drama for everybody? We got a little drama. Who's excited to see a fountain in the background? Way back there, way back there. When's it coming into view? When's it coming into view? Is it in view? There it is. It's kind of small. I didn't get all the way to it, but here's what I'm gonna do. Let's go fast. Let's go fast to the other end. I know now it's gonna really break up, but here we go. We're going fast. Let's bring this back up. All right, am I back? All right, here we go. 20. Oh, just getting away from my home Wi-Fi for a bit. Doo-doo-doo. I need to play some music, some like stalling music or something like, hey Chase, what's up? Hopefully y'all are well. All right, so I'm on a boat. I'm on my boat, but I'm getting away from my home Wi-Fi. So give me a second here. So hopefully the signal. All right, I saw the signal. That's exactly what it was. Because I'm pretty far. For some reason, my home Wi-Fi likes to connect out here, even though I'm pretty far. Green screen. Hopefully I proved it wasn't a green screen. So, by the way, there's an open invitation. If any of you are in the LA area and you want to come by, we will just come by. Shoot me up. We will come and we'll come and we'll have a nice cocktail on the boat. We'll talk poodle and have a good old time. I'll pop up the barbecue and there we go. So this is an open invitation to any poodle fam who want to come on over and have a good time when you're in the LA area. So there we go. So that said, everyone. All right, you there? Let's see. Aries is not receiving enough video. All right. Well, hopefully you're receiving enough video now. Let's see. Sorry, adjusting this. I can see there we go. So where was I? Now I was talking about the fam. The idea of this show. The first thing I did when I came home after traveling for so long was sit there and go, yeah, NorCal, come on down. Let's go and sit on this boat. And I said, this is where I want to be. So this next year, what you're going to see is I'm going to be traveling a lot less. And that's on purpose because I'm going to be turning some things over to some other employees. And I'm going to be putting a lot more into this, be putting a lot more into where I think our future is. As you're going to see, we have, when the metaverse stuff happens, and I've kind of teased some of that, that's going to end up becoming a full-time job for me. And it'll end up being a lot of work, but a lot of future. And that's what I really love about Poodle. I was just on a conversation last night with now that I just said I'm not traveling. I'm going to Dubai in May, and I was in a conversation with the organizer of the conference, and we were talking about the direction things are going. And I was talking about, how the metaverse is going to change education, and that's what I'll be speaking on, and how what we're doing is very key to that. That we are a project, and our community is a project that knows how the world is going to change, and we've always been on top of it. So, what I'm going to encourage everybody this time, how are we doing on time? Well, I'm only 20 minutes in. Um, what I'm going to encourage everybody this week is to invest in one another, right? Um, we are nothing without one another. We have done a lot of work. There's a lot of back end stuff. I want to encourage everyone to keep getting into the Poodle Olympics. Keep getting out there and shilling, and hold on, right? We are now 18 months into being our version 2. That says a lot. There are very, very few tokens who have been around for that long. I can get my phone out of the sun so that it stays connected. There are very, very few tokens who can say that. And there are very few who can say they're continuing to grow and develop over that amount of time as well, right? There are very few who, it is a nice day for a boat ride. There are very few who put the energy into developing a community. And that's what we are. When we've always said that we're a community token, we believe it. It's the same thing. When we make changes in our tokenomics, we bring it to a community vote. And here's the difference. Everyone can say they're a community, right? If you technically own any poodle, you're part of the community. But there's a difference. We're the community who cares. The one thing I love most about watching our Telegram is that nobody gets badmouthed. We do not allow any misogyny. We do not allow any racism. We don't get into the hate you because of your politics. What we believe in is people who want to see the success of this token, and people who want to see the success of the crypto space in general and the blockchain space. And what that does, it attracts a very, very different type of customer, holder, investor. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. I've been on to some other telegrams where when I go on, when I was clearing out my Telegram chats, because I get like so many notifications, so I was clearing out some groups that I no longer hold, and I don't need to see that group anymore. And the first thing I saw in a couple of them, and I think there are some other there are a couple of the big players that are not Seek ones, but was sitting there with like practically porn sitting on their things, talking about, you know, just just awful way of like talking about other humans. And it was really and just bad mouthing people. And you sit there and go, if you're going to have however many thousand holders, don't you think that that group is probably a holder of in some way? And this was coming from people that said, admin will not DM first. And I hate that. I know. Um, and it drives me nuts. One of the things that I've always said about this token was that we I would never invest in something and be part of something in a large capacity like I am here if I wouldn't be okay leaving up my Telegram, leaving up my chat, and letting my wife and daughter read it. Okay? If I wouldn't trust that, I will not invest in it, and I will not get involved in it. In fact, I wouldn't even invest in it. The funny thing is, I did invest in some of those. Again, you don't know. If you go back to April of last year, that you didn't know it was going to take off. So I threw some money around to a bunch. And you know what? Some of them, they're still going to go up. Why? Because they attract those types of people. And yet I didn't feel good about it. Yet every time I came over to the Poodle Telegram, I felt like I was welcomed home. And that was the same thing that happened, like as I started to travel. And, as I've mentioned, and I know I even told Sasha this when I first became You know, well, the admins, now, CTO was, hey, this is a tough time for me. The first, I was going to be traveling for 3 months. I'll have a little break, try to get some websites up. Then I'm going to travel again. And now I'm back on a break. So thankfully, I only have one more week-long trip for the rest of the year. Um, but every time I step away, I come back, and there is just this, hey, it's good to see you. It's kind of like that long lost cousin you grew up with, and maybe you didn't see them since, sixth grade or whatever, and 20 years later, you're all standing together like it was yesterday. Well, that's how I feel about the Poodle fam. That's how I feel every single time oh crap, you're in a breaking up because why? I'm going down a key. I'm going down one of the keys, but I'm down the key that's like right next to my house, which means it's going to connect to the Wi-Fi. Um, and so it's that feeling of no matter how far you're gone or how long you're gone, or if life gets in the way and you have things you have to do, every time you check back into the Telegram, it's, hey, how you doing? Everyone's treated like an OG. Yep. And that's what I love Sasha's comment here. When times get tough, many rooms dissolve into nasty stuff. No abuse, exactly. We don't and we won't. And here's the thing. That says something about the kind of people we are, right? We've always said, and we've said a long time ago, invest in the community, invest in the team. Don't invest in the little dollar sign, you know, the cash tag. Yes, there are some good investments, right? Should you hold some Bitcoin? Should you hold some ETH? Sure, hold some. But if you really want to be part of something where you can feel like you gave to it, then that's why you come into Poodle. Right, you said, well, Poodle will buy you a boat like this. Trust me, there's no reason. If you hold 100 billion tokens, I'm just being honest, if you hold 100 billion tokens, you can buy my boat in our first, 10x or so. This is going to be, it's not very difficult. We're not very far. The reality of the situation is the market. But here's the thing. Not It's not going to be one of us who succeeds. It's going to be all of us who succeeds. Let me say that again. It's not going to be one of us who succeeds. It's going to be all of us who succeed. We are all the ones, Moon Yacht, I love that. Um, we are the ones who are going to come together and is through the thick and thin. Because here's the part, and this is what I'm going to love about this community. And this is, I'm going to give you this. Actually, I'm going to throw this out there so I can repeat it in a few episodes after we do really take off. We know we've stuck through. We know that times get hard and people bail. And a lot of the people who've bailed, I mean, was it $3 trillion worth of money has come out of the crypto space in the last, year or so. A lot of people bailed. They bailed on everything. They didn't just bail on Poodle. They bailed on crypto in general. But people are going to come back as the next um, uh, bull market happens. We need to be people who are classy and welcome them back. We have to just say, hey, we know times were tough. We know you probably had to sell. We don't know why people sell. We don't know why people um, buy. But we also know that people are all good. For the most part, 99% of the people who have come to this community are good people who just want to make a good investment. We've had these conversations before, and Sasha has told this story when we do AMAs. He's told this story a few times about how we had one of our artists or someone, we subbed out some work to and just paid them, $50, which to us, a lot of us is, $50. It just saved us from having to do something. To them, that was life changing, and you think about $100 or $500. This is stuff where they can feed their family for a week, right? So while we want our Lambos, and I don't want a Lambo, I want my Ferrari. That's my goal. We have to recognize that there are a lot of people who just want a different life. And that's what we can bring as a community. We can support people because right now while we're trying to build our investor base, which is really what we can do right now, the one thing we can do and you can do as a community member is just work on building our investor base of good, wholehearted people. Every single person who just puts, a little bit in, even 50 bucks in, will, I mean, if you think about it, 50 bucks at 1,000x is $50,000. It's called math. Okay. Um, That's pretty dang good. Okay, that is pretty dang good. And do you realize how life-changing that would be for somebody where $50 was their last $50 and they had no hope? So the question for you is, if somebody puts in $50 right now, if we're going to really be a community who cares, how are we going to show support to them until the next bull market? And that's what you have to know. Because once every investor who comes in is an equal investor. Every investor, regardless if you have, you know, one token or a trillion tokens, all deserve the exact same treatment and all deserve support and all deserve the ability to feel like they're welcome here, even if they can't dollar cost average, and that is the thing. I actually, I've talked about dollar cost averaging. We all should do it. Right now, it's great. We're sitting at what, 12 or 13 today. What a great number to DCA out of. That's one of the things that we should be able to focus on, is getting a new investor and then comforting them in. Get a new investor and then bring them in to have them help with the Poodle Olympics, have them help with creating graphics, help them help creating memes. Look, even if they don't have a big Twitter following, guess what? They can create content that can then be used for people in the Poodle Olympics, right? We are a community that can support one another. And there are people who have skills and time, but maybe don't have money. And vice versa, there's people with money who don't have it, who don't have the skills or time. And that's the thing, is we are all together and can put all of that together. And we're all the ones to make this happen. Um, so, and the more we do that, the more we find interconnected things where we all can help out. That's where there's going to be a difference, 100% of a difference. Okay, and so that's what I want to see from everyone. Is, can we now take that and can we make it mean something legit, right? Can we now make it mean that you know they feel like they're never ever leaving? I guarantee you there are people who have said the same thing as us, right? Never selling, who then sold because life situation happens. And I'm willing to bet something. Most of the people who said I'm never selling but then sold only sold because they lost the feeling of community, or they had a major life event that they needed the money, right? That's my thing. And I want to say that again. Every single person who has said I'm never selling and who sold, two things: they either lost connection to the community or they had a major life event that they needed the money, right? Bullish on poodlcast, gotta love that. Is And so so how can we make people feel comforted? How can we connect them? Now, I will guarantee you one of the things about a meme coin, a utility token, is that people don't usually find them by accident, right? If you're on your Coinbase or your Binance and you just throw money in and you're going to invest in different coins, you might invest in a coin um, that you're not familiar with just because you see it has potential, that you don't have um, you don't have a connection with. However, um, you you don't find a token like this by accident. You come in here, you get connected, you find that it's an investment that you can trust, and then you go give it a chance. You buy a little bit and then you see. Well, the thing is, what are we doing for those people who come in, give us a chance? Are we engaging them? Odds are most of the new investors we get, especially the ones who are buying DeFi and not necessarily over centralized exchanges, uh, are probably connecting with one of us in some way before they purchase. So, how are we treating them? Are we bringing them in and are we showing them that we are one who cares? That we are a token that believes in the future and believes in them? Because that's where strength is. That's where strength of the companies. If you look at the top companies out there, I have good friends because, being here in California and all, who work at, like, I'm going to take Apple and Tesla as examples, right? Or SpaceX, which is based right here in LA. I will tell you something about people who work for those companies believe in those companies. They believe in what's going to happen by being involved in it. Not just the product, not just the paycheck, but they strongly believe in the value of it. And that is where we need to build on ours as well. People who invest, do they believe and do they feel invested in? This has got to come back to the people, right? And that's where we want to make everyone feel, which is how I feel, that every time you enter our Telegram, every time you interact with us on social media, you feel like you're coming home. Home, sweet poodle. This is where I'm comfortable. This is where I want to spend my time. Like I said, and I started the show with today, I felt lost. And, for weeks, I was great. I was having a good time. I was traveling the world. I had a little vacation. I had a little bit of work. But the fact is, without really sitting down and connecting with y'all, even though I still didn't miss a week, I did all the shows. It wasn't until I sat down at my desk, opened up the Telegram, and just sat there and interacted and started interacting over the weekend, I felt like I was coming home. And that's what we need to build into our new investors, that comfort and that feeling. If we can't do that, we don't have a long-term shot. Yes, we're going to keep working on our utility. We're going to keep working on our partnerships. We're going to keep doing all those things we need to do. But, missed you too. But the fact is, long term is going to come from building our community and staying involved with our community. And so if we can show that we all care about one another and we care about each other as people and people first, there is no stopping this token at all. There is no stopping them. You can do it, we can do it, and we can do this together. That's going to be the key. And I know we can. So let me just say, now that I'm back for this week and I'm sitting here and I'm ready to get things rolling and working, and we've got some great things you've probably seen. We've got new admin coming for a CFO. It's going to be amazing. Once the KYC is done, which should be done soon, we're going to have use. It's going to be amazing. So you'll see some updates coming. Uh, this is the thing about us. What was this? Inspiring and on. Oh, yeah. You know what? I do what I can do. Um, Sometimes I just feel like I just blabber on for a while. Sometimes I actually have a plan. But I did want to come here because I think this is an important thing. I thought it was important today to realize that the best part of coming home was, sitting on my boat, laying in my own bed, and interacting with my poodle fam. Um, and that to me is invaluable. It's why I can never picture myself leaving this token. That's why I'm going to be here and I'm not going to miss a week. And we are on week 70 of this poodlecast without missing a week. And it's going to keep on going. And I want to encourage, however I know that most of the people who watch this live are involved in the token to a higher level. We also know that a few hundred other people listen to this. So welcome to everyone who listens to this. Welcome. But I'm going to encourage those, especially those who are watching this live. Can we please just find a way to really build and invest in our people? I know we do, but let's continue to do that. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to invest. Let's continue to really build up those and make them feel like they have made the best decision ever. Whether for political, non-political things, or whatever, there is a restaurant here in the States called Chick-fil-A. I don't know if you have it around the world, but um, Chick-fil-A is known for saying the words please and thank you and their kindness. One of the things that you notice when you go and you order is how you're felt welcomed. That's the kind of customer service we want to have with every single person who interacts with us. Is that we come in there. I won't fail you. Well, no, I probably will fail you, but I'm not leaving. I'll leave as a failure. No, I'm just kidding. Um, that's the thing. My encouragement. Don't fail. Yeah, it's like don't. As I tell my staff, whatever you do, just don't embarrass me. No, but that's the thing. Is let's continue to build on one another. Let's continue to know and invest into this family and this community. We can do it. We are stronger together. And that's what's going to happen as we start seeing these things come about. We start seeing our new partnerships and utilities be developed. And we're timing all this. We expect the bull market should be coming soon. I've predicted it'll come right about the time of the holidays. I think we're going to see some good spending. I'm seeing a little less manipulation of the markets right now, which I think is good. That means that people are stabilizing their money for spending, uh, and interest rates are still going to be tough to deal with, which is going to you know make it harder for people to have some extra uh, discretionary money. But I think we're going to see as spending picks up over the holidays, and it's going to start soon. Next month is Chase's month. We're coming into Halloween, and that's what it's going to be. We are going to see this change, and all of our utilities and our partnerships are developing. If you were on the Lakeview Meta uh, call the other day, you saw great things happening with the Poodle Hub. You're gonna see with our academy. You're gonna see with the rest of our Seek partnerships. If you look, did you see the Son of Doge guys are in Singapore and they posted a picture and it's got our Poodle logo right there. Where those guys are just rock stars representing their token, but also representing the Seek ecosystem and representing us because we are all family and community together. So I'll say that really bring people into the fold. Also, treat everybody, especially the other Seek partners. One of the great things is the collaboration that happens among us as joined tokens. You don't see that all the time, but we have it, and it's special, and it's going to pay dividends. So I encourage everybody, come together. We've got this. I'm back with you next week with another live show. I'm going to try to get a guest on for next week. I know I meant to do it for this week, and I've got some people I'm talking to. Also, a big announcement. Hopefully it's okay. Well, you don't have a choice. I am moving the Poodlecast time. It's going to be 4 hours earlier, same day, but 4 hours earlier, 8 a.m. Pacific. I think that makes it 1500 UTC. The only reason is because of my schedule. I know I've been able to do it, but I've had to do a lot more recordings and quick flyby shows than I want to do. So with moving the time up to 8 a.m. starting in October, starting next week, 8 a.m. Pacific, that'll be 1500 UTC. It's going to offer an opportunity. One, I think it's going to have more. It's going to have more people being able to watch because they'll be at normal times. It'll be during the day. They can set things. They can listen and watch. Also, like I said, when I was in Europe and I noticed that I had to record one at like 11 o'clock at night, that was ridiculous. So let's get some people where they can watch it more regularly. Um, Also, it'll help with being able to keep the guests more regular and being able to make the production level of this a little better. I mean, granted, I guess I shouldn't talk about production level when I'm doing this on a boat, but whatever Poodlecast, whatever podcast, live YouTube show does things on their boat, but me, because that's what I want to do. This is Home Sweet Poodle. So that being said, everybody, note that I will update it. I'll update my Twitter. I'll send some messages out. I'll try to load next week's show in even a day early so there's more time to promote it. And as far as when the live show will be. and you can get used to seeing when the new time is to allow for a lot more real, real live shows. So there we go, Poodle fam. Love you all. Have a great week. As always, take care. See you next time.